After Neymar and Edinson Cavani's penalty drama that has blown up over the last few days and potentially led to Neymar's exclusion from the PSG squad this weekend, Uruguayan legend Diego Forlan went on sports radio in his home country to not just back his former international teammate Cavani, but also throw a pair of Brazilians under the bus. Forlan obviously denounced Neymar's role in the dispute, but he also picked out Neymar's club and country teammate Dani Alves for favouring his country mate. More goalkeeping. Howler sees Bayern blow lead in draw. What doesn't make any sense is what Alves does. He doesn't give the ball to Cavani and then gives it to Neymar as if he were his expletive. Cavani deserves respect. He has been scoring goals for years, taking penalties. There has to be respect. Neymar would not have done that with Lionel Messi. He didn't want Cavani to take the penalty. He was like a little boy annoying him. Well, as you can imagine, Alves did not take kindly to being sucked into the fray, and fired back as a result. "I don't know what match you were watching," Alves wrote on Twitter, "but for your information, I didn't take the ball away from any of my teammates. It was just the opposite, it was taken from me, and also for your information, the last penalty kick for PSG was mine. So shut your trap and stop making drama in my name." This whole situation has blown up more than most penalty disputes, which happen relatively often, likely due to the international affiliations. With a decades-old bad blood between Brazil and Uruguay, it's no surprise that people are taking sides. Forlan swept up another Brazilian in the mix, and understandably he did not appreciate the cheap shot. Follow at the _bonfire. Leicester City has won 2 straight home place games versus Liverpool. Jamie Vardy has 5 goals in 3 Peter Litas games versus Liverpool. Liverpool leads the place with 40 shots on target this season. Jamie Vardy is good to go for the Foxes as they welcome Liverpool to the King Power Stadium on Saturday. Watch live 12:30 a.m. ET on NBC, live online via NBCSports.com. These two teams matched up midweek in League Cup play, with Leicester City winning 20, and they did so without Vardy, who missed out with a groin strain. He's since recovered, and will likely play a part. Christian Fuchs and Leonardo Ulloa are also ready to go, with Fuchs back after an eye injury in training, while Ulloa took a knock to the head midweek but is ready to go. The Foxes need a win in the worst way, as a loss would leave them with a joint worst point total through the first 6 matches of a top-flight season since 199,495, the year they were relegated. Live stream Premier League games. Liverpool, meanwhile, has issues of its own to sort out. They are winless in all competitions since August 27, and on a larger scale, Jurgen Klopp is taking heat for having less points than Brendan Rodgers did through his first 73 league games of his Liverpool tenure. The Reds are also facing a bit of injury trouble, with Dejan Lovren still out with back problems, while Joe Matip and Emre Can both suffered slight injuries in the midweek loss and are questionable for Saturday. Should all those miss out, the already leaky defense would prove even more porous. What they're saying, Jurgen Klopp on Liverpool chasing the ball. We come too close together in the situation where the first ball is going after a throw-in. And it means for the second ball we don't have a good formation. We need to get more natural in these things because it's not that difficult to be honest, but it happens too often. Now we have to work and then it will be even more difficult to create something against us. Craig Shakespeare on Jamie Vardy vs. Liverpool. Is he a bogeyman? I am hoping so. Sometimes strikers will have good memories of playing against certain teams. Centre forwards go through these purple patches and everybody would like one who can get you 20 goals a season. Prediction: if anything is certain in a Liverpool match, it's that the first goal doesn't matter. Since the start of last season, the Reds are tops in the league with 20 points from losing positions. However, they're also 5th in the league in that same time frame with 20 points lost from winning positions. With that in mind, a wild game is likely in store, but with the inconsistent form for either side of late, it's tough to pick a winner. A 22 draw is a likely result. Follow at the _bonfire. Chelsea has won 17 of its last 23 Premier League games. Alvaro Morata has 3 goals and 2 assists, all with his head. Stoke has lost just 1 of its past 7 home games versus defending champions. Eden Hazard is back and at full strength as Chelsea travels to the Britannia to take on Stoke City Saturday. Watch live 1000 a.m. ET online via NBCSports.com. With Hazard back and Diego Costa finally shed to Atletico Madrid, the Blues have positioned themselves to make a run at the Premier League's top spot. Chelsea has not lost since their opening day misstep against Burnley, and despite firing a blank in last weekend's 0-0 draw with the Gunners, Chelsea is still just 3 points off the top spot, and will look to put pressure on the Manchester clubs. In addition to Hazard, the Blues also get Hemue Bakayoko and Pedro back in the lineup as well, although David Luiz is suspended after his late red card last weekend. Live stream Premier League games this season has been a rollercoaster ride for Stoke City, having picked up 4 points against Arsenal and Manchester United, but also losing to Newcastle and Everton, plus a very disappointing defeat midweek to Bristol City in the Cup. The Potters are missing a host of defenders, with Jeff Cameron and Ryan Shawcross both injured, plus Kurt Zouma ineligible to face his parent club. Kevin Wimmer is also touch and go with a hamstring injury, not expected to be available. What they're saying Mark Hughes on Chelsea's discipline issues. Chelsea at the moment look like they're getting yellow and red cards more frequently, but that might be just an anomaly, something happening in the moment. I don't think it is prevalent in their team. They are just strong when they need to be. It is not going to be tactic we are going to irritate them with to step over the line, because if I'm honest I don't think he'll have the players to do that. Antonio Conte on Stoke: the most important thing for us is to go game by game. Tomorrow it will be a really tough game. We must prepare very well this game in all the situations, tactically, physically, to be disciplined. Stoke won against Arsenal and then drew against Manchester United. It means Stoke is a really good team. Prediction: Stoke City has given tough teams trouble, and could again if Maxim Choupo-Moting shows up at his best again. But it's much more likely that Chelsea will ease by in this game. The Potters have fallen off slightly this season, and while their draw against Manchester United shows they pack some punch, it won't be enough to see off a Chelsea side buoyed by the return of Eden Hazard. Chelsea could win their opening 3 Premier League away matches for the first time since 2009. Their third away fixture of that campaign was a 21 victory at Stoke, so we'll go for the same scoreline here. Follow at _bonfire. Hope Solo has settled a grievance with US Soccer over her suspension from the women's national team following comments she made at the Rio Olympics. The settlement was first reported by the San Francisco Chronicle. The 35-year-old goalkeeper was suspended for 6 months and her contract with the federation was terminated after she called the Swedish team a bunch of cowards following the US team's quarter-final loss. Details about the settlement, reached last month, were not released. The U.S. Women's Soccer Team Players Association filed a grievance on Solo's behalf. In a statement provided Friday to the Associated Press, Solo reiterated her regret over the comments. As I expressed in my apology to the Swedish captain immediately following the match, I have tremendous respect for the Swedish team, and in describing the style of play, I used a choice of words that was both offensive and not at all what I had intended to convey, she said. More JPW's Premier League picks: we have amicably resolved the matter and are moving forward in a positive way, she added. US Soccer did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The Women's Soccer Team Players Association declined to comment. Solo anchored the team in goal for the 2015 Women's World Cup victory, allowing just 3 goals in 7 games with 5 shutouts during the tournament, earning her a second straight Golden Glove award. For her career, Solo has made 202 total appearances with the national team, with 153 wins and an international record 102 shutouts. The defending champion US women were ousted from the Olympics last summer when Sweden advanced 43 on penalty kicks following a 11 draw. Solo's cowards quote came immediately following the loss. Sweden went on to play in the gold medal match against Germany. Solo told the AP in an interview late last year that she spoke to coach Jill Ellis and US Soccer President Sunil Gulati following the loss, and felt that the issue was put to rest. After she returned to the United States, she said she was blindsided by the announcement about her suspension. She said she believes US Soccer wanted her off negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement. Solo has been an outspoken advocate for equal pay and was among the players who filed a complaint against the federation with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission alleging wage discrimination. Let's call it what is, which is a firing, Solo told AP then. It was a termination of my contract effective immediately with severance. That is a firing. EWASNTU suspension. That's what they told the media because it looked better. But I got fired. I got fired for what they say was using the word "cowards," but in reality they got rid of an adversary in the fight for equal pay. US Soccer said at the time that Solo was suspended following a culmination of actions, and separately her contract was also terminated with the team. Bayern fans are already counting down the days until Manuel Neuer's return in goal. In his absence, Sven Ulreich has earned a pair of starts in Bundesliga play, and the most recent has not ended well. With Bayern leading Wolfsburg 20, but Ulreich completely botched a simple save leading to Wolfsburg's first goal, sparking a comeback from the visitors. As Max Arnold delivered a free kick 10 minutes after half-time, the ball sailed just over the wall and directly at Ulreich's head. Instead of catching the attempter using both hands to parry the shot, Ulreich raised just his right hand and failed to connect fully. The ball glanced off the side of his palm and into the back of the net to bring Wolfsburg a goal back. The free kick had decent pace, and it didn't help that Sebastian Rudy made a poor attempt to block the delivery, but Ulreich won't want to see a replay of that chance, as he made a hideous attempt to stop the shot. Wolfsburg would eventually equalize with just 7 minutes remaining in the match as Daniel Didavi scored a pinpoint header in off the post. Rudy let Didavi sneak behind him, and Paul Verhaeghe delivered a fantastic long ball into the box for the 27-year-old to redirect in. The final whistle marked the first time since March 2004 that Bayern had blown a 2-goal halftime lead at home. The draw means Bayern has failed to put pressure on Borussia Dortmund this weekend, leaving Die Roten level with their Dortmund rivals on 13 points, with the latter still to host Borussia Mönchengladbach on Saturday. Neuer likely won't be back until January thanks to yet another foot injury, leaving Bayern to either continue along with Ulreich and hope he improves, or look for other options either in-house or on the free agent market. But Ulreich came over from Stuttgart in the summer of 2015 and has backed up Neuer since. Follow at _bonfire.